For decades, it's dominated our Sundays. The National Football League, a multi-billion-dollar industry with legions of fans, endless influence, week after week, leaving millions mesmerized by the action on the gridiron. But in recent years, there has been growing debate over a different kind of action on the sidelines. The kneeling, the protests, and the backlash. All of it placing a growing spotlight on race in the nation's most profitable professional sports league. It's an issue that's even more glaring when focused on head coaches. Here are the numbers. In 2021, black players made up the vast majority of the National Football League, with more than 2/3 identifying as either African American or mixed race. Yet, among coaches, it's a much different story. Currently, there are only 3 black head coaches in the entire league. And throughout the league's nearly 102-year history, only 25 black men have ever held that position. Among them, Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy is one of the most recognizable names in football. His NFL career spanned more than 3 decades, first as a defensive back with the Pittsburgh Steelers, then as a barrier-breaking coach. In 2006, he led the Indianapolis Colts to a Super Bowl victory, the first black coach to ever win it all. Dungy says he believes implicit bias plays a role, something he experienced firsthand during his early coaching interviews. Dungy has more than once been right at the intersection of coaching and race. In 2002, he was fired as head coach from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, one of 2 black coaches terminated in the same year. At the time, the Bucs owner praised Dungy and called his firing a difficult decision, but the move outraged activists and attorneys alike, including a high-profile lawyer named Johnny Cochran. He and fellow attorney Cyrus Mary hired an expert to crunch the numbers and found while black coaches outperformed white coaches, they had inferior opportunities to hold those positions. That led to the league implementing what is now known as the Rooney Rule. The letter of the law says when there is a head coaching vacancy, teams have to interview at least 1 candidate of color. That number has since been upped to 2, and the rule since expanded to include general manager and coordinator positions. The intended goal, to give candidates of color a fair shot. It's the rule at the heart of a new lawsuit filed by Brian Flores. Recently fired as head coach of the Miami Dolphins, Flores took the extraordinary step of suing the league and several of its teams, claiming racial discrimination, saying the league denied him and others head coaching and other positions. 2 more black coaches recently joined that lawsuit. The NFL responded to the suit, saying diversity is core to everything we do, and that they plan to defend against these claims, which they said are without merit. Several NFL teams have also denied the allegations. Richard Lapchick runs Tides. For more than 30 years, his group has been grading professional sports leagues on their race and gender hiring practices. In 2021, the NFL received a B overall, but just a C+ for coaching hires. One of those coaches is Leslie Frazier. He was on Dungy's Super Bowl winning Colts staff and is currently defensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. He says the issue of race in coaching is a constant conversation within the league. In the last month, the NFL has taken steps, announcing a new diversity committee to evaluate hiring practices, then make recommendations to the league office and owners. We reached out to the NFL to request interviews with those committee members. The league said it's open to having members speak with us, just not at this time, saying the committee has not yet met as a group. But ultimately, there is one group of decision makers with each team, the owners. NFL teams rarely change hands and cost a lot of money. Some ownership is handed down through families. Across the league's 32 teams, there are currently only 2 owners of color, and there has never been a black owner in the NFL. In a joint statement, the league's owners said that they are committed to increasing diversity among their ranks, writing, "When considering potential ownership groups, membership will regard it as a positive and meaningful factor if the group includes diverse individuals who would have a significant equity stake in and involvement with the club." Last year, Dungy wrote an open letter to owners saying it's crucial that they start hiring black coaches. He says that he received a number of responses from people across the league, but he says not one from a single owner.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.